go slow with the do 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 do. Uh, I'm gonna talk story broad. I'm acting kind of weird, and I put Lynn's book down because I just realized, man, we gotta cover her pioneers. He had a story. I don't know if it's gonna air or not. It's a pretty messed up story. I mean, I was giving him a hard rub that his stories were a little innocent, but I mean, come on, bro. That was. So I don't even
What
know
do you got? What do you got for us today?
Well, I just looked over and I smoked a little herb earlier because we were talking to Stoner Van Houten, also known as the Spawn Ranch Worker. If you check out his channel, Spawn Ranch Worker 2011 on YouTube, you can see a lot of good stuff. Tell him we sent you. Both of you. Thank you for joining us. But I think something innocent and funny, like I've always been someone who smoked weed as a kid. I had some really bad dental work done. My dad was not someone who cared about having kids. He liked having Porsches and buying race tires and shit. And now that I've got a few Porsches in my life and am a father now, I can see the temptation and neglect my child and buy Porsche parts. It's a pretty powerful pull. I can really identify with my dad more now. Lucky my wife is a woman of good character. So yeah, my child has shoes. But that being said, this town is pretty crazy. I didn't always have much, so I learned how to sponge pretty well. Had these messed up teeth. I would get these big headaches. And once I started smoking weed about 14, I could control the headaches and my insomnia. Like I wasn't able to sleep as a kid. So I would not be able to self-soothe. I would have to rock myself to sleep. So it's hard to have a girlfriend or do anything when you're like, trying to self-soothe to get yourself to sleep. Man, once I found weed, it was like this sleeping bag you could take with you anywhere that no one saw. And culturally back then, early 80s, smoking weed and having a little bit of longer hair, man, that was some cool shit, right? So I was always trying to get more. There was never enough. I would always run out. I'd get a little sack going. And then as soon as I was having a good time, shit would corner up on me. And I was out of my goddamn product. And it was always having to come after somebody and beg them to buy me some weed. I had a good friend, James Butts, 10 years older than me, named Ouch. Had a tattoo, a wreath.
That's a sweet nickname.
With his own name on it. Ouch. He had a wreath and with a skull, his own death wreath on his arm. That was his tattoo. Interestingly. 5 earrings in the left and I think 1 or 2 in the right. So I got off into having earrings and long hair and I followed the dude around a bunch and we were buddies. He was a biker and was always extolling the great natures of the Harley Davidson knucklehead motor. So I don't think he ever actually had one. I think he just kind of read too many Easy Riders magazines and did a lot of time in Laredo fucking jail there in Bakersfield. But I've got one, and so I made us both proud. And so I always keep these dudes in my memory. And one of the things he was all about was keeping me loaded, dude, because he understood I was a real loyal guy, keep some weed around. I would stick around, keep an eye on his house, do a lot of dirt for the guy. So then finally I got my own bags. He started buying me bags of weed. I'd give him a little pinch, right? Get a bag of weed, get a bag of weed. But I'd go places, like I'd travel and then I'd be screwed. When I go visit my grandmother for the summer, I only had $25 together before I left town to get a 1/4 ounce. It's supposed to last me how long?
Yeah.
Dude, that's scary as a kid. So when I came back to Ridgecrest and I was able to get my first connection, I had no idea who she was. My best buddy, Jeff Fox, who later burglarized my house and our other good friend, Eddie Vokalik's house with another pal of ours. came, stole my mom's gun. They were super rude. They did some Manson family shit, like ate our food. I think kicked the dog around a little bit because it was a real pain in the ass. Drank our chocolate milk. Threw some shit around the house. My mom thought I was just being a real pig. Broke the remote, kicked some shit, broke some shit, took her gun, took some other shit, some money. And my mom blamed it on me, dude. Took some booze and shit. So they leave and then do the same thing to my friend Ed, right? I found out 30 something years later through his accomplice. He hung out with me for years. Like we were just buddies, right? Good news was mom's house provided sanctuary. Dad had gotten killed a few years earlier after ruining their family, right? Older brother's best friend had died. Dad just died on a motorcycle. A lot of romantic deaths. I'm riding a motorcycle. Everyone's on motorcycles. Everyone's dying. All this shit's happening. High anxiety, high drama. I'm high as fuck, doing shit tons of acid, watching the sun come up. We're riding our motorcycles out to Death Valley because we live on the corner of Death Valley. Where do you go watch the fucking sun come up? Right there. Fucking hit the fish rocks on the way to Toronto. Shink, 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 right? Fucking amazing shit. My dad worked out there. He's experiencing the same shit, not on drugs. Smoked a shit ton of weed, I found out later. Just really into like super getting all melty on the fucking herb. But all this to say, I fucking get this weed. This chick has this curly hair, red hair. She's real cool, kind of foxy. She's this local dude, Cliff's old lady. I got to know Cliffy only because he was a biker, right? I'm trying to find out through the other Bo, our dear friend Bo Bushnell at the Outlaw Archive, if this character was connected to the two straight Satans that had lived in Ridgecrest, and I went to school with their kids. And their mom was super fine.
Yeah.
She was a member herself, an actual straight Satan. But I want to see if Cliff was connected because he was clearly club material. His old lady. I'm going to check out on this note. Y'all can just blow me. Just blow me on this one. His old lady was Poison Ivy, the great rockabilly guitarist for the incredible band The Cramps. Seminal, cultural, iconic. Whoa, man. Took the shit beyond fucking goddamn Poison Ivy. Well, her sister, Lori, was real similar looking gal. And dude, went in there and bought my first bags off her, hung out over there, was treated as an adult at almost 15. Because we'd seen my friend's dad die on his motorcycle. And, you know, at the funeral, him and Cliff, Jeff's dad, Gary Fox, they were really close, mobbed up, dude. Lisa Buffum's close friend, this older dude, his name may or may not come to me. His fucking ass is old as the hills and is still friends with Lisa behind a lot of that shit. Because all those people fucking died. The kid died. All these people, they just all died at the same time. I spoke at the funeral with a fucked up Mohican in a suit. Big old Doc Martens, like, right? And dude, I was crying my eyes out. And that's why those dudes knew I had a lot of heart, because Gary and I had been friends since I was a kid. I met his children being friends with the adult. And that shit is just sobering. But every time I listen to the Cramps, every time I think about her, every time I smoke a bowl, you know, all these things come together, and we're losing friends left, right, and center. And I'm just so glad to be here. And I don't know, these things are funny, they're emotional, they're scary. But a lot of us got, you know, killed, and I got shot as a kid. And a lot of those people in that story are just like, they got murdered, or, you know, I know what happened to them, but I can't talk about it. And that was a real violent, crazy time. I don't know if people live that way anymore, but In the desert, man, people would definitely come up missing. And to be able to get a bag of weed, that's some fucking solace, man.
Wow.
It was for me, it was like having Jesus or something. You know, I could tuck away and have a bowl and maybe get through the night and go to sleep. I live out in the desert a lot, you know, by myself, and only way you could get to sleep. So appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope you're not fucking out there sleeping like that, but man, being raw will make you appreciate a fucking roof. Tell you something, it's never that fucking bad.